What is the crack, folks? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the NuMuze podcast. Today we are joined with the lads from Tessio. Right, boys, we're back. I actually have no idea who these two people are. I've never ever met them in my life. What is the crack, lads? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Today we're joined with Jude and Callum from Tessio.
How are you getting on, Lewis?
How's it going? Not too bad, not too bad.
Man.
Do you just want to just introduce yourselves to the people at home and tell them sort of the influences that you would hear on your songs?
Alright, I'm Jude.
I'm Callum.
And some of the influences, I don't know. We're pretending we didn't just do this 10 minutes ago, but so the Everly Brothers is the main one that we probably get. Simon and Garfunkel, another one.
I always get that, I suppose, duo with harmonies, like, you know what I mean? Like,
who got the Irishy stuff as well. I take that as a good compliment. Sorry, I don't know.
No, it's all good. How did Tessio first come about? The name and everything like that there.
we met at school, obviously, like, so we used to play together. What do you call it?
Deja vu here, lads. Serious deja vu.
We used to play.
You'll probably explain it better than I did.
I played like separately, just doing wee gigs when we were young. When did you start? You started when you were pure young, didn't you?
I think I was playing gigs when I was like 13. Like City of Culture was City of Culture 2013 or 12. So I was doing it flat out that year. Were you?
No, I was in my bed.
Were you? You were in your bed. I mind
I must have whole 2013 year.
Hardly. Warp it.
Oh, class.
Still
not good.
So were you musical growing up? Were you?
I think so. You were a piano and all.
Piano, so I only really learned guitar like last 5 years or something.
That's nuts
like
as
that,
well.
really.
We were talking about that the other night.
That is mad. You're taking guitar player.
And like for our first gig, so that's what we were saying. Like when we first got together, we were Drake and Josh, and we were only doing a one-off gig in Bennigan's that night. But you were playing a load of piano and I was playing guitar. But Cam was playing guitar that night as well. And it's like nuts. Like you're literally like looking at the chords.
Like, so scared about C and F because I didn't know that shape there. I knew E and all.
Yeah.
But because there was one song that was like on C or whatever. I learned that fat, but then
it was probably 20 minutes as well. We were doing some.
I suppose you'd find it easier though to pick up because of the theory and everything that comes along with it.
I think it does help. If you have an instrument, because I think I started learning piano when I was like 10, I think, or whatever. So I kind of, if you know which chords they go into, it does help. Like, and then just I think John Duddy taught me the strings, one of my mates, and then he showed me E and all, and then
you're laughing then. Like
that's it. That's all you need. Like
I first started on piano and I quit about maybe a month after it because I couldn't be bothered sitting down, and to be honest it's probably one of my only regrets in life.
You can always pick it up
because I feel like I'd be far ahead in my career if I had stuck at piano because I feel like you just know so much theory. Like I know nothing about theory but I know how to play guitar.
I'm the same. I'm like you'd be far more know your theory kind of stuff.
Like we were talking
about it last night with we go to an Irish class on a Monday night now, and the boy was saying he was like, you read the music, you know the dots and all. It's like, that's as much as I know, like, to be honest. So I'm the same, but I can mess about a wee bit on it, but I wish I could properly play it, you know. I think that's the most impressive one, if you can play piano really well. It's like,
was it classical lessons you were going to, like with a tutor type person?
It was with a tutor, and then she also done singing lessons. That's how I sort of got into making music as well, but I just couldn't be bothered sitting down and learning it.
I think it's wild hard to learn that way, like that type of, because I sagged that after a while too, when I was getting lessons, like, but I ended up just playing in tunes after a while, like,
because it was all just stuff. Like hot cross buns and all, and I was like trying to be Mozart, and like it just wasn't happening. It was I was trying to like run before I could walk, so to speak.
I think most people get like that though when you're trying to learn a thing, especially when I was younger. I was messing about with guitar when I was like 5 and 6, but I was like hearing a song, I was like, why can I not play it? Like Toss Man Earth or something, and I'd be like, why can I not play this? I'm like, don't know any of the chords, don't know how to play guitar, like, but so you might sack it for a year or something, you know what I mean? But you just need to stick at it. It's like, it's boring, but you do need to just, it's that, what do you say, 10,000 hours thing or whatever, just keep a guitar beside your bed.
How many hours
like,
do you think you have done?
That's
at least 10,
at least 10. I don't know. It's so good. I think at the minute, anyways, I can only speak for myself. Like, but I feel like I'm playing more than I've ever played. Like at the minute, like I have like a wee guitar just right beside my bed. So as soon as I wake up, or as soon as like right before I go to sleep, like I'm just always messing about with it. Like,
do you do anything outside of Tessio, like any trad groups or anything, or any just playing with other people?
I'm doing a wee
Play around the
thing.
bars.
I play around the pubs just like during the week. But I'm doing one actually, and a trad trio now on Monday on Paddy's Day. So it'll be good. I know,
this will be out in about April time. So
it
hope
was
you
the
enjoyed if you
best
went
day.
and did.
It was actually how good was it?
So
Wasn't it the
actually
best?
mate,
sounded
You
brilliant.
couldn't believe it. Like near
Actually,
guy.
I still
I
can't.
know.
I will not be there,
mad.
but I'm sure it was brilliant. I'm sure.
No, it was.
What is your earliest memories of listening to music? Like what sort of was
Good
on
one.
when you
Question,
were
eh?
Good
cutting about
shout.
the house back in the day?
I always remember being in the car with my dad, and Elvis came on the radio. I remember, I don't know what age it was like, but
Do you know what song?
let's just say it was All Shook Up. It was.
Was it?
I don't know, but what do you call it? I remember him coming on the radio and being all like, "Oh, what? Who does that?" Like, when you just kind of someone just catches your ear, like. And then we went and bought the gold.
Attitude McKenna.
Who was you? Was it?
It was me doing All Shook Up on Drive 105.
Serious?
Were you? I thought you were asleep at you as well. Yeah. You were, right. That's mad. I think I remember hearing Mystery Train, Elvis being like so young. Not like, but I remember that was definitely the first Elvis song where I was like, oh my god, obsessed with.
That's a cooler answer, to be fair.
So was
yours better, man. I just
was it mainly Elvis?
No, I was like massive Bob Dylan fan when I was away, and like Johnny Cash and all as well. Like I think we were both Johnny Cash fans and all as well. Were you not as much? We were both were, weren't we? Johnny Cash is a massive one for me, to be fair. But I actually do. We were on about that the other day. I mean, my uncle showed me the I know everybody probably listens to it now after that film, but there's like a version of All I Really Want to Do by Bob Dylan, where he's like bursts out laughing at the end and stuff. And I heard that when I was like really young. I must have been 5 or 6 and was like just couldn't stop listening to it. Had it on my iPod. Obsessed. Like,
I've never heard it.
no, it's
Sir,
good.
I'm so like that's what I was saying. Like these lads, I'm so out of touch with like the legends of music. Like I
Aye.
could tell you anything at a local scene or like in the local level. I could tell you anything about it.
That's class
That's
as well.
cool,
though, I
really.
think.
But-
That is good, I know.
But I
That's
know
definitely
nothing.
more important as well. Like, you should see how good Johnny Cash was.
But here, but we just have released an album in December. Congratulations!
Thanks very much.
How did it feel to get that out into the world?
It was class. It was like a big, not relief, but like it was something we were looking to do for ages, and then we'd been recording, and not with like really any aim, but we knew the songs were going to come out, so it was just made more sense to rather than do an REP, like way after the first one or something, or just keep drip feeding songs out. We just thought may as well just. There's no, and I think as well when we're doing gigs and people want to come to the gigs, if they like hearing the songs, they want to just have the songs they listen to. Then you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no point in being like, oh, they played this class song at whatever. I'm not saying anybody ever said that, but you know what I mean. So it's like, you may as well just, if you're sitting on the songs, you may as well just have them out. I thought at the end of the day, like, so.
Definitely, yeah. It's something you always wanted to have too when you were younger. Like, you know, like the idea of having an album like that's
Yeah,
pure
it's
cool,
a
like,
big thing. Did you do any like presses of it or CDs or anything? Did you?
Well, we have 50 CDs.
in the house.
In the house, Callum
Sorry.
burned 50 CDs for us, but no, we tried to get the vinyl happening, but whatever way it was going about, it was just ending up, just didn't work out then. So maybe later in the year or something.
We need to get the wee sleeves for the CDs.
Yeah.
now.
Aye,
We'll
that's
try
it
selling
actually.
them, like,
We will have them for sale hopefully, and I know Lee Mason said about dropping them on or whatever if we had them and stuff. So, but we will eventually have them for sale
Yeah.
because we had like our merch and all. But we
Go and
take
buy
them-
yourselves a Tessio CD.
Exactly. Later on.
What's the sort of writing process look like for you? Is it both of you, or do you sort of ping songs back and forth to each other? Or how does it go?
It depends. Like, usually it's kind of maybe at the minute it's more like send ones back and forth. It's good, and then you'll be like, oh, what do you see? And send me one, and the next day it'll be an R1, next day it'll be an R1. I'm like, oh, I've nothing. But it is good, or it's good. Like, say there's a bit of something, you're like, right, there's a wee idea here, and then we're good at kind of like battering it out together and finishing it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it was a kind of good example of that.
It's good to have somebody to bounce it off, like, just because
Bit of validation, sort of.
all you need as well sometimes is just like one wee suggestion, and then
Aye.
it unlocks the whole song.
Because
in, like,
you're
like,
stuck in as well. Like I've ones that I've been stuck on for ages. Like, and if you're probably the same or whatever, but you need to just once you both sit down, someone might just fire in a wee line or a wee melody or something, and you're like, all right, that's class. That's the song finished now. You know what I mean? So, but it's class. We're writing loads at the minute, anyways, which is good because probably we're in after the album. We're like, right, are you gonna get any more tunes again now? But no, we've loads on the go at the minute, so
that's good. It's good to hear. The recording process then for the album. Talk us through that. Sort of how it came from just being an idea to being in fruition, I suppose.
So, because then we had done them 4 in lockdown, the first 4 on the EP, and then that doesn't even have anything related to do with the album. Like none of them came onto the album or anything. So we were just starting a new thing, and we had Hanging on My Back, and we'd been gigging that, and then we just thought, I don't know why we started with it. Like that was the first song. Like
that is because you would think you'd maybe start
probably
with
the
something
hardest
like,
one. They
because
do.
there's so many tracks in that one, just like layering and stuff.
It's like so many on that. So and that didn't even take long though, to be fair.
No.
As well. That was the best of crack too. That one, like that was quite funny doing that. But so that was the first one we recorded, and then we were like, all right, so we'll do another single then, maybe, wasn't that then? And then She Used to Love Me, and then Back Again was like, I don't even think Back Again was probably we had in mind to put on the album, maybe.
Because I wasn't even written when we had. I think we had done out a track list, and then
off of the album.
But that it didn't end up being that then. But I think we wrote that in between times. Then
that's
while we were
mad.
But
is there a specific way you sort of pick tracks for what's going on to the album, or did you were you writing it with the intentions of it being on the album, or was it just sort of you were writing? No,
I don't think so. Like as you say there now, we probably had ones, and then we wouldn't want to put anything on that we were like, oh, that's just a wee filler song, you know what I mean, or whatever. But we probably had ones that we would have liked, and then if we done Back Again, I think even when Back Again came out, I probably wouldn't even have put it on the album, and then we put it out as like a B-side, you know what I mean? She Used to Love Me, just thinking, alright, that's probably She Used to Love Me is like the single out, but Back Again's like the biggest on Spotify, isn't it? Probably, I think it's the most listened to of ours anyways, or well, after Simple Love Song, like, and then so we were like, alright, we'll just put that on, and that kind of made sense to come after She Used to Love Me on that. So the track list all kind of did make sense.
I think it fell into place.
I think the same kind of ideas of how, like, Tell Me's like a bit of an intro, like kind of thing, where and then Hanging on My Back's like loud then, and then gets it started. And it kind of like all came naturally, like the actual track list. And I think
the way it sounded too, you're right. Like I think we Tell Me, we recorded it on our phones, like on voice notes, just on our phones. So Callum had his phone over there, and I was standing at the other side of the room with my phone beside me. And then we just put the 2 together, so it was like double tracking nearly, but like I was further away and he was further away, and just put the 2 recordings together, and that whole song basically is just off our phones, you know what I mean? And then so that sounds a wee bit like
I think we were one vocal and a top end,
and then you do your piano in. That was pure last minute as well, piano, and then but so that sounds wild, creaky and all, like, you know what I mean? So that works as the intro, and then Hanging on My Back's like a good second, and then we were going like, this isn't like nerdy, like, but like E minor, G, E minor, so it's like that minor for it all.
So it's all about the keys and how they flow.
A wee bit, like, because at the end, Roses and Weston, they were both in D, and they both kind of went on the tour well, and I can't even remember what else song.
Weston was kind of like a nice, because Roses like a nice, it is a big finish, starts like kind of slow, then big finish, and then Weston fades on then, doesn't it? So it's like a wee, as if it's like a wee bonus track or something.
And that was like a last minute thing too, that wee fade on. Having it, but I'm happy with it.
How did the album release party go? I was meant to get down in Bennigan's. I had a ticket and all. I had a ticket and all, but and was like, I can't do this. Like I can't get up today, and I was absolutely got it. Yourselves, what Polar Blero and Cathal Francis. Good night.
Great night.
It was actually classy. It was such a good night. It
was the best night.
We stayed on after too, because I think we finished the gig. It wasn't too late, like, you know, so it was still time to have a wee night out after too, like. And
everybody had a decent, long enough slot too. Like we played for a good while, and Paul Blero and Cahill, they got up with us at the end and all, you know, and they were both playing before, like, and so it was a good, like, it was a long night, you know what I mean? But I think we probably started a bit early, and then it was great crack. Hey, and we had it was the first time we had merch or whatever, and we sold all our merch that night, like, as well, like, and it was just the best. It was like probably the best, my favourite gig anyways. Like,
and you sold the gig out
in a day,
quickly.
I think, or something like that. We put them on. When did we even put them on? Was it before Halloween or just after Halloween? And then It was sold out the next day or something like that. I was mad. Hey.
I know, because my mate Todd turns around to me, he's like, are you for Tessio's album release? And I was like, I'll get a ticket at some point. Like. And he was like, they've literally put up in their story that there's like 5 tickets left. You better buy a ticket. And I fucking bought one.
Because all my friends were all out there, and they were like, what's going on? Are we going to get to go? That was a handling trying to organise all that night, mate. Jesus.
I think Bennigan's sort of suits the album release.
I think so.
It's so intimate and just, I mean, it must have been nice to sort of see people that I suppose you care about and love, see their reactions to the album. Had they heard it previously, or was this their first time hearing it?
So it came out it came out on the 23rd, did it?
The 20th.
The 20th, aye. Oh,
gig was on the 27th.
The gig was on the 27th, aye.
So it was a week before. So it had been out a week.
So it was out a week, and we done a gig in Tunnies at a folk club, at that Foyle Folk Club in Tunnies, which is a really good night. But we done a gig in there, and then like last minute on the day, we were like, you know what, like they make this a kind of special one-off sort of thing. We just decided to do the album start to finish. So a couple of people were at that seen it, but I think for the majority of people, it was the first time anyways they were seeing us play some of the songs. It was the first time we played Back Again or whatever, I'd say probably, and but I know it was good. Hey, and it was good crack. We had like loads of, we do that Christmas jamboree every year, you know, that's what we call it on there, and it's always like, you know, you do prizes and raffles and everything kind of, and so it's good crack. Like so it was a good night for it.
We got the weather this year too, because I think up the last 2 years it was like so freezing, like kind of lousy that we're doing it outside.
Yeah, it's sort of like outside, semi-outside, isn't it?
Jerry Craig, I always get him to do the sound for it, and he says every year, he's like, "Oh, please do it inside." And I'm like, "No, man, just there. I bring their parkas." Like, but
right this year,
it was grand. Well, we're up there in boiler suits and layers underneath and everything, like, so we're grand. But and you have the heaters. We have the heaters and all.
It's always good for us.
It's grand for us every time.
I suppose on the topic of gigs, you recently played RTE.
Aye.
Was that last week or the week before?
The week before.
What did today? For now, it was
the 11th. Today's 11th.
26th. It was on my birthday.
I was like, when was it? I was on Callum's birthday.
That must have felt great. What was that experience like down there?
That was classy. Yeah, it was because we got 2 days down. Because the sound check was the day before too. So it was a nice wee holiday, if anything, like a nice wee breakdown in Dublin. Like.
2 days. It was classic.
It was so good. Hey.
What song did you play?
We were meant to do 3. Everybody was only doing 1 song each basically, and then we were meant to do 3 at the start. I think that would have been overkill right enough. Like
probably.
They probably have been like, right, start the show now. But we were waiting to go. So what we did was knock upon my door and then hanging on my back. So I was just really worried about. I was sick as well. Like I got sick a couple of days before it. So in the day before then, when we were down in Dublin, I was just bait, wasn't I? Like my voice and everything. So I was breaking it, and then I was really worried I was going to break a string, and then had a whole dilemma about changing strings and all, and just went with it, and we didn't, thankfully. But so because hanging on my back, I usually always snap a string during that, like, but it was grand. It was pure good. It was like it was just as the start of the show, and we were waiting to go on, and they're like getting all things over the radio, like, right, Tessio in 2 minutes and all, and like Vicar Street, like full, and we're like sitting there like, oh my god, and they were all right. The second you're done, unplug everything, and the president comes in then, like Michael D's coming in then, like,
very intense.
I'd say, like, all right before we're going on, but it was the best. It was actually it was mad.
I mean, I suppose it's very surreal for you. Just 2 buys from Derry down doing big massive things.
Exactly. I think we were the only. I think there was a couple from the north, like, but we were the only Derry ones, anyways. Like everybody kept saying this, they were like, "Are you the Derry ones?" Then I was like, but it was great, and they have a big after party in Vicar Street for everybody after and all, and it was good. Like even people you really like we were with John Spillane and all for a bit, and he's classic, and he was some crack. Actually, I couldn't get over how much good crack it was. Like he won best album or best folk album, and he was like the happiest person in Dublin that night, wasn't he? And then like Donald Lunny and all was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award. So, and I love him. Like, and like I grew up listening to Planks Day and the Bathy Band and all, you know. So it was class seeing that, and Christy Moore was there presenting Damien Dempsey and all. And that was amazing.
He did a speech. They present Donald Lunny the award, but he was so funny.
He's amazing.
Classic.
Christy. He's brilliant. I was going to go and see him in. Where was I going to see him? Bundoran. Possibly. He's always in very random sort of scattered places.
He always just sells out as well too. It's like everybody's. It's like gold dust trying to get a ticket from him. It's mad.
You've also done other voices in Dingle last year. What was that like? So we were actually talking about going down just to see Wonder Horse.
Aye.
I hadn't even
We
realised
didn't even get to see them.
No.
No, I don't know how it worked out or whatever. We didn't even get to see them, but no, that was also amazing. That was like the best weekend.
I couldn't recommend that festival more.
Unbelievable.
Definitely go next year. It's actually such a good weekend on that. Just
we were just like, we might go down a wee scoot, and then look on the map, and it's about 7 hours away, and I was like.
Took us 9 that day. It was well worth it though. It was the best. It's one of the best festivals I've ever been to. Like, and I couldn't get over how nice everybody was. And there's like, how many people were there again? Like, I'll not even take a guess. I in the town.
I was like, what was it, 1,300,
1,600 or something like that. And there's 65 bars or something. And it's all
numbers aren't right, but it's something like that.
I know. There's 65 people and there's 16 bars. No, but then the festival just takes place over like a few streets around the place, and it's just in and around all the bars, and it's just so good. Like and it's non-stop as well, so you're never bored of wherever you want to go. You go on next door in their bar and you're like jam packed on like out there, and it's just.
Did you just catch many?
Oh, I flat out. We were.
Doug was a big highlight. Have you heard of them?
No, I've never.
Are class. Hey.
No, so good. Hey.
They just 2 fellas, but he's got like a stamp box kind of thing, and then he's on the.
Kind of like a
guitar thing.
The steel, like a steel guitar. They're kind of like it's like American-y folk, but they're like. I think one of them's from Dublin. I think one of them is American then as well, but they were so good. I really wanted to see them anyway, so we were in for their sound check 20 minutes before they were playing. It was grand. Like bar was alright, and 5 minutes before they started, I have a video with my phone. It's like. You just could not. You couldn't see the floor. Like, it was insane from the back.
Roasting.
I know.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
There was loads of good people. Rosh was down too.
Rosh was down.
Amazing. We met her at the Vicar Street too.
Cleaned up at Vicar Street.
Oh, what?
And there was just so many good bands. Like non-stop. We seen Kojak. Like, I've been a big Kojak fan.
Kojak's brilliant.
So good.
Unbelievable.
I'd seen him a few times, and I've been listening to him for years. And then we were sitting. I think you were in the toilet or something. We were chatting to Soak and had been texting.
Yeah.
We were on about going to meet them, and I think it was probably the first time that day I went to my phone, and was I sitting outside the hotel or something? I just opened my phone. It was all secret set in 15 minutes as Kojak. I was like, what? So we got out and ran up, and it was well sound. The staff there like got us on anyways to it because it was just jammed, and it was amazing. And then they have a big party afterwards as well, like away all the bands and stuff.
We need to get down. I need to get down next year. Do you have a favourite gig that you have done?
The Christmas one this year was one of the best, but I think the Fela when was it?
Last summer, last August, I think. It was
upstairs Sandy, see.
The Gathering, it was called. That Fela put on this gig. And it was John. You know about the John Francis Flynn one? That was class. And Mohammed Sifkan. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but Limoncello.
Techno Peasant. I want to see it everybody.
Go on, man.
Can't remember now.
Was
that it?
Serious memory in this one here.
It was class. It was such a good night because they had the 2 stages set up on Sandy's.
Yes.
So it was like just a quick turnaround, just like everyone just turned their seats in. But
like this year?
Just like this year.
That's mad.
What do you call it?
That
was such a good night though.
So there was only one person on a stage at a time. That's class.
So it actually was just like.
So there was one person setting up in one while the other was getting off. It's actually efficient.
It was so well ran. There's been a couple of gigs up in that main room in Sandino's, like where it's been like that, and I think that's a really good idea for doing a gig in there. Like, but no, that was a great night, and that's what got us our voices, after that night, anyways. So, no, that's a belter. I loved the ones as well we done in the Guildhall, like they
were class.
We supported the 4 of us in the Guildhall and the Hothouse Flowers as well. So either of them, I was mad, like playing up on that stage.
Sound brilliant in the Guildhall. I've never heard I've never watched a gig in the Guildhall, but I would assume that the
class
acoustics are
bands played in there. It's really good. There's even like Kilchanic now or whatever coming up, they have nights on the Guildhall over in April. You should get to some of them. Hey, it's a class venue.
That's
like,
their last this year, isn't it?
It's nuts.
I've never been to it.
You should go this year.
I need to get down. Do you enjoy doing intimate gigs more or the larger gigs?
I suppose the big ones kind of seem, because we don't do many of them.
I was going to say,
nice. You can get the suits on and stuff like that.
Oh, it's more of an occasion, like.
But I do love like a wee.
The Bennigan's ones, they are class. Like, you know what? It's you make of it whatever. Like, it's either is as good. You know what I mean? Like in Vicar Street, we done 2 songs. You're on the stage like 10, like just over 10 minutes or whatever. But it felt like a gig and it felt class. But then Bennigan's, you're playing it's not that massive, but it's completely sold out, jammed, and you're playing for like over an hour, and it's class as well. So I just love them all. Hey,
as long as it starts early, finishes early, and doesn't too
and you just get
long.
a lot of pints
to your bed. And,
do you have any pre-show rituals? Anything you do that maybe
shout.
it's a wee bit quirky or whatever?
Do you?
I don't think so. Hey, no, I probably have to check my pockets like about 10 times. I
Packs,
forget everything. Picks and capos and keys and.
Right. Tuners and all. And jacks and all. No, usually we're alright for that stuff. Like I don't think I do anything.
No, like
used to be like a wee vocal zone or whatever you call them. Finds mine if you were sick or something.
Wee warm up.
But no, I don't think I do anything. Try not to smoke or anything. Just right before.
So tell me a little bit about your favourites in the local music scene at the minute. Anyone you are listening to, or anyone you want to put people on to?
Everybody's so good. Hey,
it's
like,
so good at the minute. Like you know yourself. Like it's class. Like at the minute. Hey.
We're sort of talking about it. I think this country as a whole sort of going through something creatively where there's so much creative flow, I suppose, in the country. There's so much great music, so much great art, so many great films coming off this country as well. It's brilliant.
It's class to see, especially I'm so glad to see it up in Derry as well. And there's a few that I always name that are technically not Derry bands, but you just claim them anyways. Like Poor Bolero, I love Tramp as well, and neither of them are. Well, I suppose Tramp are kind of Donegal on it, but then Poor Bolero are like Dungiven, Port Stewart, and they're all over the place. Well, Jason's from Derry, but I love them. I love Kial, who we're on about earlier. I think Kial's amazing. Cherem, who are like they're supporting Snow Patrol the other night, like it's just insane. Parker as well. There's so many bands. It's just Rua. Skull as well.
You'd be afraid they forget somebody, and there's that many. Like it's like
that's another thing you don't want to leave anyone out. Skull, I've heard really 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 good things. It was called, but I've never seen them live. I think they're playing next month at some point. Or maybe at the end of this month, actually. I need to go and see them.
You should definitely get that.
What sort of stuff is it they make?
They're kind of like folky, but like it's kind of, I'm not going to be able describing it well, like, but it's like, it is kind of fusion-y, isn't it? Because it's like trad, but funky nearly as well. And on, they're, that's not a good comparison saying the Olam or something like that there, because Conan signs and all as well, but Conan Mon, who's on the band as well, so like it's Conan, Ryan, Steamy, and Liam. And my cousin Liam would be on the band, so he'd have been in loads of bands too, like Tomcat and all, and Delta Fuse, and Delta Fuse an our class band. So's Tomcat, but they're not playing as much anymore or whatever. But I know they're all just like a class player. It's like a wee super group of these boys, and the type of music that they play in is just nuts. Because Steamy is the drummer from Tramp, like he's the drummer for Skull, and it's class. They do some covers then, and you would be like 2 minutes into the song, you'd be like, oh, I'm only picking up that's like a Prince song that he's doing on violin with a drum machine. That's class. So they're really really good. Hey, they're a great gig to go to. We were doing a gig in Sandys there. I can't even mind what it was. Was it the Body Sunday one we were doing there? And they were playing the same night.
Oh, that's right there.
And then they were playing the same night, but everybody that came over, they were playing in Cultureland, and everybody came over and was like, Skull were just unbelievable. Like, so they're definitely a good one to get to go to if you can. Hey,
do you have any dream people you would like to support?
They probably all pied us already.
They've got a text.
They've already. They'll go on their messages and be like, "Who are these?" All the ones that we try to anyways or whatever. I'd love to. You see people like Paul Brady's come back to the forum now again in September or whatever. I'd love to. I've grown up like a massive Paul Brady fan. You know what I mean? So that would be a good one. There's people like dream people you talk about, like, but I know when we were down at RT, like Vagabonds, we met them and they were just like the soundest people as well. Like, and
I bet class one, I'd love it.
Oh, wait, just give them a text now. They
if
announced
they're watching,
I'm not
just
joking.
like
I think they announced the tour this morning. You can throw a
You're the
screenshot
big fans of the NuMuze podcast, and if they're listening,
exactly.
these boys are looking a support spot.
So many, just like so many Irish bands now at the minute. Just anybody, like any gig,
I know.
gives it.
If you exactly, if you want 15 minutes before it or whatever, if you want an hour before it.
Then following up from that, is there any dream venues?
Venues?
Why did I say that? Weird. Venues? Is there any dream venues you would
I
like
thought
to
you
play?
said it, Grant. Vicar Street was one.
I couldn't believe that there the other week, just because that would have been would have been one I would have said.
100%.
But Vicar Street, we haven't played Ulster Sports Club. I'd love to play her.
I know. I was chatting to poor Blair about that the other day. Thought I would love to play her. That would be a great gig. Like there's even the ones like I loved when we played the Black Box for the first time. You know, I'd love to play like dream venues. Like obviously, like you'd love to play the Olympia. You know, Ulster Hall or whatever and stuff. But that's all.
Ulster Hall would be class.
Class. I think the Olympia would be my favourite. That would be like my number one if I could ever play there. I just think I've only been to 1 or 2 gigs in it, like, but it's just it's one of the best spots I've ever been for a gig. Like,
have to try and get you a gig sorted in Sports Club. We're doing with Sam Foote, Bluepill PR. The next one's probably announced, so make sure to buy a ticket. We're doing monthly gigs. First night of every first Thursday of every month.
Oh, is it like late night art?
Late night art takeover. We're
did
calling
you do it last week?
We done it. Yeah.
How did you get on?
Very, very, very good.
Classy.
It was Hot Girl from Dublin.
Right.
And Penny's band. They're brilliant. Like it was a really, really, really good night.
Classy.
And there was such a buzz. There was so much atmosphere about the place, and it's great to see.
That night's class up there. Hey, we've done a late night out before. Like played it in Black Box, wasn't it? And it was classy. But that night in general, just around Cathedral Quarter,
I think it's so important.
Buzzing,
it's so important to have them kind of nights because it's like it's sort of why I started NuMuze in the first place. Obviously not to show off art, but it's like there's so much great creative minds to show off, and there's not enough people showing it off. So it's great to have those kind of nights that showcase that.
No, definitely. Hey.
But no, it was at Ulster Sports Club, and it's such a great venue. I absolutely love Sports Club. It was our first NuMuze gig in Belfast as well, which sort of made it that little bit more special.
That's class. Hey, there you go. I'm glad to hear it went really well. So it was senior post the other day.
We had sort of talked about the local scene and about how there's something going on here. But do you have any opinions on sort of the current state of the music industry? As being musicians yourselves?
Kill. It's hard to get any money, is the main thing, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? It's hard to get any money at all. Like you get a bit lucky with the PRS sometimes or whatever, you know what I mean, if your tune gets on the radio or something like that. But if all in that, like you're looking at your streams from was it our social media thing we were looking at before, and like all the times that it's been streamed on social media or whatever, and it was like a lot anyways, you know what I mean, over the years, and it was like 5p or something we made like between us. It's mad. So you don't
split it as well.
And especially even then, and it's fair enough. Like sometimes if you're doing gigs as well, like especially with like independent people, and all, there's not enough money for everybody to go around that. It's fair enough, and you're doing it because of the gigs, no. But it's the people should probably have them be. You know, it should be backed in the first place. You know what I mean? Like I don't know whether it's not necessarily on the venues to back an independent thing to put it on, but it's just like. It's a handling for organisers, especially like we put on a lot of gigs ourselves. Yeah. And you're like we come out of it, we like if we've just broke even off putting on the gig or whatever, or like we're happy enough to do the gig like the Bennigan's one, and if we don't make anything but everybody gets paid or whatever and stuff, that's probably how it would have worked out the last time. But good thing we had the merch there, you know what I mean? And it all went that night.
And you can always count on people in terms of buying the merch and stuff, people are always so sound like the actual normal people kind of thing. Go out and buy it. Like
that is so good. Help, especially in Derry, you see like if you go into like hospitality places around here, like you see people that you know and that like that work in cafes or work in bars or whatever and all, and they might be wearing a Trump t-shirt or a Tessio t-shirt or whatever and all, and you've seen that for years with Toits and everybody as well. They're an our one, like Toits are like they were like the first ones that started this whole scene. I think anyways, kind of like of all the young bands coming out again and on. So I still wear my Toits t-shirt from like the first time they brought them out. Like, so Derry heads are really good for that. I'm sure it's the same in Belfast. Not we haven't played enough in Belfast even. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
no, I think it's sort of the same everywhere. But sort of what we're trying to do is sort of. I still feel like there's a barrier there for people who are from Derry to try and get to Belfast, and from people who are from Belfast to try and get to Derry. I feel like there's still a barrier. I don't know if it's like I don't think it's a clickiness, so to speak, that like people's gatekeep or anything. But I feel like it's just people can become very comfortable in their own sort of city and whatever, and can become very sort of isolated and just not want to move out. So that's something that we're sort of we're definitely trying to work on a little bit more.
Well, that's class. So that's good to see.
Because it can be hard to know even where they play or who they ask if you want to play somewhere if you don't really know the venues or whatever.
Exactly. And it's I think it can be quite hard for a Derry band to get a good gig in Belfast, and they like especially get a crowd as well. You know what I mean? Or to get it promoted in a way to get a crowd. So
what has been your boys' experience going up to Belfast and stuff? Have you enjoyed it alright? You've been welcomed okay and stuff?
I love the gigs and all, and they've been good crowds and stuff like that, but we're usually doing supporting a band or whatever and all, and which is always good, like, or you're kind of lower on about, which is grand, like, and they've been great gigs and stuff, but the other thing is that the people that are organising them, or that have got us in touch with the people, are usually Derry people, aren't they? You know, like, I think in our experience, like, it's usually a Derry head that's got us the gigs in Belfast in the first place. So I don't know. Maybe now you get a bit more like, once you get a bit more like radio play and stuff like that there, you know what I mean? There's people up in Belfast that will be like, oh, can you? Because there has been people reaching out recently about putting on gigs or whatever and stuff, and that are from Belfast or in that music scene or whatever. So so it gets easier obviously after a wee while, but I do think it's hard for like, you know, like people starting out here, but then there's a band of like 16-year-olds and they're doing really well, but they're playing the same place. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? 4 nights in a row, like, or 4 months in a row in the same place. Like, so it's like good experience to get up and play somewhere like the OES Centre or something, or you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I could come down to as well, because you have to get, if you obviously like starting out as well, you need money to, if you want to go to maybe down south somewhere or something too, or even if you have to get the bus or whatever, and it costs money too, so sometimes it can be hard to kind of fund actually getting to the gig if the pay's not going to be, because sometimes you can't help if maybe there's not that many people at the gig.
Exactly.
It was a conversation we were having. I was having with like one of the other guests on the podcast. It used to be that you were excited to go to a gig just to go to the gig, but now it's like you're sitting sort of working it all out. Like, are we going to make money off this? Or, you know, are we going to have enough to cover the sound engineer? Are we going to have enough to cover the fee of renting the place? And it's sort of becoming, I don't know, it's nearly becoming like a burden to put on gigs, which it never should be, because it's people are trying to just show off what great music we have, but at the same time it's like another conversation I was having is, and it's I suppose just common sense, is there's more people need the money than there is money to go around.
That's
you know,
true,
and and all these PRS and stuff, you may get funding eventually, like it's a very long-winded thing, and you often have to have like a lot of sort of people vouching for you and sort of experience
that's loads of people in your corner and all that have like seen you play or really know what you're about now, and like hopefully stuff like that does come in time, but like we haven't played enough probably in Belfast to have that yet or whatever. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we have or what, but still scant anyways.
Well, where have you played up in Belfast? I know you said the Black Box earlier, wasn't it?
Black Box a few times.
Union Bar, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Scared of Cavaliers. That was good.
Well, I remember. Hey, and we done another one with McHugh's. We done with them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we done.
You've done Output.
That
was class.
Right,
you know what? That's actually
really
one of my favourite gigs. Well, good shout, Lewis. That's actually one of my favourite gigs here. Right? That was in Duke of York.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
That was so good.
You know, that was probably the first time where we like played in Belfast where it was like really good crowd. I know everybody goes to them gigs anyways, but there was loads of gigs on at the same time we were on or whatever, and like so it was really sound. People were there, and people were really really nice and all. And I was good crack. Hey, I
nice
loved
playing
that.
that room too, because it's like it's cool. It's
it's
all
very
stuff,
sort of.
It looked good.
You're sort of taking it in while you're trying to play. No, that Output was great, but we were sort of bouncing between.
There was so much
bars. Like we were sort of just looking at leaflet, like, oh, we need to get there, and it's.
I missed a few people. I was raging as well. Like there was a few people I really wanted to see, but
who else was playing in Duke of York? That was Core Blossom, but that one wasn't it?
Core Blossom done that. Who was on? Someone just before us. I can't remember their name. Ava last.
It was brilliant.
So good.
Very good.
I can't remember. There was a girl singer in like a band just before us, and they had the place jammed as well. So then we went on. They set up, and the place just emptied. And we were like, oh no! But by the time we were like getting ready to start again, it all filled again. But I don't know. There was are they Wharton? Is that how you say it? I don't know if I'm saying Wharton or something like HEART. They were around the corner from us, and I was dying to get them, but they were on basically the same time. And then poor Bolero, we only got the start of their set because we were on, and then we missed Joshua Burnside as well. So, but that's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? Having loads of good bands.
Really good band. Because I got a wee bit of Polar Bolero that night, and I got to Joshua Burnside, which I was happy about. But I seen Joshua Burnside like 2 weeks before that in the Musselton Temple in Castle Rock.
Was he playing there?
Yeah,
class.
It was absolutely beautiful.
He seems to do really cool gigs, like as in like.
Secret set.
I didn't even know what was like. That's an R one secret set. If it comes up somewhere, secret set. I think it's him.
Well, it was a secret set for Output.
There you go. And I remember, I don't know if he actually even done it, but when we were playing at Stendhal last year, everybody was like, "All right, this secret set, go here for this." I think we went to the wrong place because nobody played. But everybody saw Joshua Burnside. I didn't see anybody where we were, but. There you go. That would be a good if we could get to the level of being secret set status where everybody knows it's us. Just change the name. Nobody can. Exactly.
Are you planning any upcoming releases at the minute?
We're trying to record it. We're back on recording now. Like trying to get more so demos, isn't it? Like, but trying to get the second album up and running. Like,
I'd say that's what's just next, probably. So.
But probably a good while to be fair. Like once we get it all sorted and all. But that's the next. Next album. I think we're just gonna try to do it that way. Just keep on the album cycle kind of thing.
Exactly. There's no and like maybe put out. But I suppose I was gonna say put out singles or whatever. But the albums will probably be. The singles will be on the albums anyways. You know what I mean? So.
Grand. Well, thank you very much for coming on, lads.
Hi, thanks very much for having us.
I appreciate it. Is there anything you want to add before we finish on up?
I'm all good. Hey,
all good,
go to the NuMuze gigs.
That's what I like to hear.
Come to see us in Belfast and tell me how good Paradise Day was.
Yeah, and stream Tessio self-titled album. Absolutely brilliant.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
All right, lads.
Cheers. Much appreciated. Hey.